Namaste, Jai Bharat. The temple architecture in ancient Bharat, particularly in the south of Bharat, Dakshinapatha as it is called, Dakshinapatha. When we do Agnihotra, you say your address. I name son of so and so from which part of Bharat? Dakshinapathe. That's how it is said. Anyway, so there's an architectural variation in the southern Bharat, temple structure, construction, etc. And elsewhere there's a variation. This is, of course, this must have happened primarily due to some very mighty kingdoms and very religious people. They used to be very, very Hindus existed there in the southern part. They are let's begin with the Vijayanagara Empire. Vijayanagara, the Hampi, and the temples constructed there. And then, of course, the Cholas, the mighty Cholas, they were ruling up to Singapore, that was Simhapura, the Cholas. The Rajaraja Chola, Rajendra Chola, Karikala Chola, they are a mighty lot of them. Then the Pandyas, many such mighty dynasties. And if I am given to understand that the Cholas are the dynasty that ruled for long time, or the maximum duration of one dynasty is one that of the Cholas, and they were great devotees of great Hindus they were to begin with, and great lover of art, architecture, music, dances. Look at that. Look at the cultural manifestations based on the Veda Upanishad acknowledged tradition. Based on the Veda Upanishad acknowledged tradition, that is the point. And the result is that we see this is the two. We mostly find the two streams in music also, in dance also, art, architecture. Everything you find two streams. The Dakshina technique or Dakshina method and the Aryavata method. See, music, same music. It's all based on the same Veda, Sama Veda. Carnatic style of music and the Hindustani style of music. But later Hindustani style of music is infiltrated by some infiltration by the Mughals. Then of course all the dances of Bharat are based on one text, based on the Yajurveda, Vardhamani's Natya Shastra. All these are based on Vedas. That's why one says that everything begins rooted in the Vedas, and the ultimate desideratum is moksha. Between 2 points, you begin with the Vedas, and then your desideratum, your aim, your objective is moksha. So the South Indian temple architecture, the Dakshinapatha temple architecture, look at it. Now, I just wanted to speak about something very confusing to most people. For instance, it's difficult to mention the names of these temples because there are so many. They constructed using the hardest material, which needs very modern technology to touch them. That is the hardest of the granite. The hardest of the granite. Okay. I am going to speak about something different, something slightly different from these things. There are temples which are at least 2000 years old, minimum 2000 years old, because most of them are during this Vijayanagara period, the Chola period, the Pandya period. Now don't forget the legacy or the knowledge tradition of the southern Bharat, because they actually are of the people, they are the people of Kumarikanda, that is which the Europeans called as Lemuria, which got submerged. So this kind of connections are there. Great civilization, great people exist, but they are basically Sanatanis, because all these things are based on Vedas. There is no question or doubt in this. Absolutely no question of doubt. Whoever try whatever. Okay, that's besides the point. Now, some of the temples are very strange carvings. Strange in the sense, how do you find a sculpture on the temple wall of a bicycle? Just listen. How do you find, or how do you justify the finding of a bicycle carved on a temple wall? A person is on bicycle or with bicycle. Then how do you justify the appearance of a binocular with which a person is watching the skies on a temple wall? Remember, these temple walls must have constructed or created at least 2000 plus years ago. Then, most strangely, there are pocket watches in some of the carvings. And one temple, I forgot the name, these things in Tamil Nadu, this temple is in Tamil Nadu. In one temple, the Dwarapalaka, the gods are carved. Salabhanjiga, even they are females. The Dwarapalakas, when they are male, they are carved. And the thing which I am going to speak is, when you have to think about it to get into the serious aspect of it. The Dwarapalaka is wearing a shirt with collar. This collared shirt is not a Bharatiya phenomenon. And just look at the history when the collared shirt first appeared. It's very recent, 200 years at the most. He is wearing a collared shirt, number one. Number two, in the pocket, one of his pockets, there is that pocket watch. There is that pocket watch, or there is a pocket watch. Wrist watches were not popular along with pocket watch. And then there are also two pockets. No, not two, actually 4 pockets. 2 pockets to the front and 2 pockets down, like most modern shirts. And in the front pockets there is a pocket watch with the typical chain, and in one of the pockets there is a mobile phone. Now look at the time differences in this. Collared shirts appeared at time X. Pocket watches must have been simultaneous to that, little variation. And how about mobile phone? It's much later in time. And when was this created? Minimum 2000 plus years ago. The puzzle here is, which confuses people, is how this thing happens. 2000 plus years ago, so 2500 years ago, or like that, there were no bicycles. There are sculptures of ski boats, tricycles, children. There are many such things which goes beyond your comprehension. But they are there out in front of you on temple walls. They are there out in front of you. You just can't afford to close your eyes. Or you can't try to say this must have been added much later. You cannot even dream of adding one pin to the sculptures, because you can't create them as they were created. They were not later additions. Don't say the temple was built only 100 years before. No. 100 years before you could have not afforded to make any such things or any such sculptures or any such carvings. This is puzzle. This is impossible, but it is there in front of you. How do you understand it? That's my discussion. That's my point. How do you understand them? Now, This has to be again explained only through the yogi method. The sculptures, they were definitely not yogis. They were definitely not yogis. Yogis are maharshis. They are a special lot. They might have this knowledge, but they're very transcendental kind of people who are keeping transcendental knowledge. They can afford to keep their sthula sharira at one place and appear with the sukshma sharira at different place. There are some instances, not some, many instances. They were not yogis, the sculptures, but this one should remember, they were upasakas. They were great upasakas. They will do nididhyasana before doing anything. They do nididhyasana. No, they don't pray like common people praying. They will do nididhyasana. Put their mind somewhere. Make the mind stand still. Stilling the mind. Make the mind nishpanda. And the nishpandatva is a great thing, from where the person or the shilpi, the one who is a sculpture, the shilpi envisages all kinds of things. Practically, his mind does, in modern terminology, time travel. He travels forward and backward. Most likely must have been doing forward travel than backward travel. And during his such travel, he gets many visions. A vision of a person using bicycle. A vision of a boy who's on a ski board. Vision of a child who's on a tricycle. Vision of a person who's using a binocular observing the sky. Vision of a person who's using a mobile phone, cellular phone. Vision of a person who's looking at the television. Vision of a person who's speaking on a telephone. All these visions he gets. Now, when the shilpi, the sculpture, gets into making things, this is on the walls, outer walls, the temple walls. His imagination, fantasies, free to the extent that sky is a limit. Whatever innovation he gets in his mind, or whatever vision he gets, he carves it. He, as an upasaka, is capable of getting visions, but he doesn't have the time sense in his visions. See, the period of pocket watch and the period of mobile phones, the period of this and period of that and period of binoculars, that kind of binocular, long ones, not the modern ones. In the sculpture which I am referring to, it is one sculpture which I am referring to, there may be many others and many other things. This time gap, he doesn't visualize. He gets visions. He doesn't get the time differences. And whatever vision he gets, it is his manodharma there. It's called as manodharma. He creates what he finds, what he gets. The manodharma is a great creative aspect in any art form, both in dances, music, etc. The manodharma aspect, that depends on the individual performer, his ability to envisage into innovation. That's precisely what the Shilpi had done. You find, therefore, bicycles, you find binoculars, you find ski boards, you find wristwatches, you find pocket watches, you find mobile phones, and you find vanity bags for the ladies. Everything modern. These are the visions he gets. They are upasakas. Before getting into their daily sculpturing things, they spend hours on nididhyasana, which is in English called as meditation. And these understanding comes from the meditation, nididhyasana. then he puts it. But he is not a yogi. He is not using yogurt. But he has these things. He gets into these abilities which is concerned with this profession. He is very professional and his level is different. You can't compare a Shilpi with a Maharshi as a yogi. A yogi is conscious that what he's doing. A Maharshi knows what he's doing, and he will use yoga to obtain what he wants to understand. That's a different thing. This is not controlled by his mind. These are the appearances resulting from his deep kind of nityatyasana. So we even see the people, those are great singers. Music is called Nada Brahma. Performance of art is also understood as divine. They don't have yoga vidya, but they get moksha very easily. Music is called Nada Brahma for that. You need not to do anything if you are a great upasak of music. That's one way of understanding things. So this is how we have these puzzles. And if you talk about the list of puzzles, there is no end to it. There is no end to it. There are many. There are pillars which are hanging from top, and at the bottom you can easily pass a paper through, because that's not touching the floor. And there are stone pillars giving 7 musical notes. Saptaswara, where the music originated. Bharat, I would definitely say. Saptaswara, 7 music, originated where? Originated in Bharat, because it's originated very, very long time back. The period of Samaveda. What is Samaveda? It is based on musical notes. Saptaswaras. Yajurveda, based on mudras. The dance forms originated. If you are rigid, strict with the Vedopanishadic knowledge tradition, it's inescapable for it to say the entire knowledge belongs to the Vedopanishadic knowledge tradition, the varieties of things from the Vedopanishadic knowledge tradition, the branches and branches and branches. Because this knowledge tradition permits innovation and branching without ever losing the edifice. You can't lose it. If you lose it, you're gone. Then you become somebody like the Afghanistan Bamiyan Buddhist structures, the descendants of those who created it. You become that. It's still there in front of us. These things are there for you to go. Walk around Bharat from east to west, north to south, and experience yourselves what your ancestors are. We meet again. Till then, Namaste, Jai Bharat and Jai Shri Ram.